I immediately walk in towards the camera. This is a typical code of convention of many media producers, and the reason for this is they want to be identified immediately by the audience. Now, my location was Solihull. The reason for choosing here was because I wanted to get a better grasp for the youth that are here, as there are many colleges and sixth form centres. Now, I went for a medium shot here as I wanted to show the type of people in the background, as often you see young people walking through it, everyone of different ages, so I believed that I could get mixed opinion and have no bias by asking them. I immediately identified 3 youthful characters that went to Solihull College and asked them a few questions about what they believed about reality TV and young people and how this affected them. Now, by doing this, I was trying to highlight the message of my documentary, which, from an early point, some might say is a bit premature, but I wanted to kind of challenge this and kind of put it straight out there and get the questions answered. Not in a kind of conclusion way, but trying to get a better grasp. Now, from this, I wanted to go from a young perspective to an old perspective. So the next person I'd interview would be a bit older. Now, here's the person I interviewed, and obviously he didn't grow up with as much media-ized technology as I did, but I believe that by getting his opinion, it allowed me to get a better perspective for the topic and just show the variety of what I was going after. Now, as you can see, there's a Costa in the background, which is yet again another mixed place to be for youth.
This whole TV news interview was taken on the 24th of April 2007, before Owen's wholly anticipated
typically
busted court
involve
case.
archive footage, and this one was of Owen Doyle. He was the main person I was going to interview, and I believe this archive footage was key to my documentary. The reason for this is it helps sum up that someone almost made it famous that I was interviewing, and that by him almost making it famous, making it big would be a pun. That is it as easy to make it big as people think. So this archive footage, I went on to meet Owen Doyle and ask him a few questions. But as you can see in the archive footage, he wasn't the original member of Busted, but just before they made it big, he left and claimed to have co-wrote some of their hit songs.
Today, I'm going to the Radleys in Birmingham, and I'm going to interview Owen Doyle about his time in the entertainment industry, and see, even though he's had a few knockbacks with his busted court case, why he still wants to strive and be successful.
Get a better idea of who he was. As you see, we meet through the door and go forth, and I believe that by doing this, I was able to kind of give it a more realist effect, because, you know, I'm following him through his flat, kind of in a new way, and then my cameraman's behind me using an over-shoulder shot and panning what we're both doing, and kind of, it was very natural because we went through, we started to talk about what we needed to get done, and he showed me around and kind of introduced himself. Now, we start to see a bit of a change here as we're about to move on to the interview, but here he's just explaining who his elders are, so I wanted to kind of get an idea for who he was a bit better. And obviously later in the documentary he performs, but not in the 5-minute segment of my evaluation. Now, I decided that the idea behind the documentary, or should we say interview part of this, was that he'd talk about his experiences and how he grew up wanting to be successful. Now, as I only had 5 minutes, I couldn't include the entire interview, but I did try and cover a wide scope. Now here we start talking about what made him initially want to be successful, and I believe that's important because a lot of new people today only want to be successful because they see their idols, who they are, and try and imitate these people, but he speaks from the heart. I kept going from close-ups to panning shots and used my cameraman, who I instructed to do this. The reason for this is I wanted to add some dramatic effect with the music in the background, kind of, you know, kind of show the audience where the sympathy was given. I believe that by adding sympathy to this, it really kind of showed how when the dreams go bad for some of these people, how it can act. But obviously, he stayed optimistic the whole time throughout this interview. So I think if I had the music, it really given the effect that I was actually going for at the time.